When I look back at the earliest days, post-diagnosis, even pre-diagnosis, I feel like I missed it. I would describe Asher as full of joy.
He was a great baby. He was born healthy and happy. But when we went to the pediatrician, his first concern when he saw Asher at 4 months old was something was a little amiss. And he said, "Don't worry about it. It's just a little hypotonia, low muscle tone." But he said, "Come back in a month." From 4 months to 5 months old was when he lost his ability to push up. In the car seat, he couldn't hold his head. By 5 months old, when we saw the primary care physician again, he said, "Okay, I'm going to refer you to a neurologist." At that point, the neurologist wanted to do a list of blood tests. We got a call, and it was the neurologist's office. At that point, we knew something was wrong. All they were able to tell us over the phone is that the tests for SMA had come back abnormal. When it was confirmed that Asher had spinal muscular atrophy, which we had learned was the #1 genetic cause of death for infants, it was just so overwhelming. It's like your mind almost couldn't comprehend this life that was before you, that was your baby. Just all these horrible, horrific things are about to unfold because a disease is about to ravish his body. We were so grief-stricken, we weren't even answering our phone. We had been receiving phone calls from an unknown phone number that we later found out was Dr. Finkel, who was leading a research team at Moore's Children's Hospital in Orlando. We spoke with Dr. Finkel. He said, "This is what our hope is with this clinical trial."
And so we just thought, if this is just a baby step towards eliminating this disease, then we need to be a part of it. We know other families in the same clinical trial, and hope was their motivator. But for me, that didn't motivate me. I didn't have any hope. It was dark days after the diagnosis. When we found out we were working with the lead neurologist at the MDA Pediatric Care Center at Moore's Children's Hospital, we felt super fortunate. Every 4 months, Asher gets a spinal tap.
They remove 12 milligrams of fluid from the spine, and then they insert 12 milligrams of the drug. Turning your infant child over to research is not easy, and you have to do it with people who you feel like you can trust.
We feel heard by our doctors. We feel cared for by the team.
After the first 3 months, he started moving his legs, and he was only a year and a month old, and he was able to start sitting up just for a few seconds. That's, I think, when the hope started.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, look at how much this treatment has done. In a year's time, this was making such a huge, huge difference for him, and seeing that it could make a huge, huge difference for our community.
Slow and steady progress. We had a therapist come in home, and she's been an integral piece of Asher's journey. She's been amazing, challenging Asher.
Push up, there you go. I did it. You did it.
When Asher first started sitting up, I never imagined that would be him pushing himself in a wheelchair. And then he started to crawl.
Push. Yeah. Right there. You're good there, buddy.
And then all of a sudden, his therapist says, "Yeah, I think Asher can walk." It's like you're watching a miracle unfold. You got it. Miss Eileen's right there. 8. You got it.
9. I'm 10.
It's overwhelming the first time that some other mom said, "We saw what Asher could do, and it gave us so much hope." And it was the first time I realized, wow, we're doing what we hoped we would do, which is make a difference for our community.
Keep going. You're doing fantastic.
We live in a world where we were received a terminal diagnosis, and our child wasn't expected to live past the age of 2. And now at 6 years old, He's done well and better than expected, and we've been given more time than we ever thought we would have. It's refreshing to have Asher have such a good attitude and smile and joy despite his circumstances. Also, just the gift of watching our children interact with one another and that love between them, is just so amazing and such a gift to me as a mom.
If you have anybody in your life that you're just better because you know that person, just because you get to know them. I feel super fortunate that my son gets to be one.
Asher is hope in the flesh. He lives and breathes every day because doctors, supporters didn't stop years and years and years ago. Our hope is that we don't stop the momentum because we need a cure. This is just the beginning. Without the support from organizations like the MDA, we can't help those children who wouldn't have any hope otherwise. I would truly hope that other families who go through something as hard as we've gone through can walk out of that doctor's office knowing the number one genetic cause of death for infants is a thing of the past.